Hi, I am your host today on Reaching Your Destiny with Alicia. I'm so happy that you tuned in today. I'm just so thrilled that you tuned in today. Hope everybody is having a great day and a great week so far, despite of what's been going on in the media. I just came to let you guys know that I really appreciate each and every listener that is tuned in to Reaching Your Destiny with Alicia. Thank you so much for everyone that tuned in up in Indiana, Indianapolis. And we have some newcomers from Key West, Florida. And also we have some people from the Washington, D.C. area. Awesome. Well, I want to go forth and I want to get into a very hot topic that is just traveling all around the world. And it's very devastating to see what had went on at our United States Capitol over the weekend. Very devastating. There is no words to really describe what happened. I just know that it was very inexcusable. It was very, um, just very unexcusable. And this has really has been just riveting. There's no words that I can describe of how total disrespect that our state capitol, our United States Capitol building, uh, was very in total disgrace over the weekend. Disgrace of the United States Capitol Police, violence toward the police. Um, it's just the people that are Congress members. They were in distressed situations, very scared for their lives. And I'm telling you, it was just ugly. It was mayhem. Something that I never ever would have suspected to have went on at our United States Capitol. Just put United States America at a very disgraced position. Seem like we're like the laughing stock of America. I don't know if this is the beginning of something or the ending of something. But I do know that when I was there last August at the Capitol during the March on Washington, we had over 200,000 people that was there. Not one incident was there of violence. Yes, security was very high. Now, what I did notice with this situation that went on there in, at our Capitol over the weekend, these white supremacy groups, let's just call it for what it is, okay? Because it is what it is. They were there in over hundred thousands and thousands of people was there. I probably would say over 10,000 plus, 20,000 plus people that was there. And they were all around saturated at the United States Capitol. These people was treated just like the average Joe on the street, like nothing is going on. Done broke into our United States Capitol, went into the chambers of where all of our laws and rules and regulations, the meetings that be held there. Just terrible, terrible, just really terrible. But I do have a special guest that is on my show today. A nice lady by the name of Emily. She do not want her last name to be exposed. And she came on through teleconference. And also, she's a native, I do believe, from the Washington, D.C. area. And Miss Emily.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Emily. How are you?
I am good. I'm so thankful for doing this show today.
Thank you. I'm
So,
so glad that you were able to have you to be on our show today. Emily, tell me a little bit about you. How long have you been living in the Washington, D.C. area?
I've been there for 15 plus years.
Okay, 15 plus years. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay. So, what do you do there in Washington, if I may ask?
Basically, I am just an assistant, basically.
You're an
Of a,
assistant?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. You're an assistant and where was that? You was an assistant where now?
At one of the big facilities that actually, you know, that horrible event that took place. I was there at
Oh,
the time. Yes, ma'am.
okay. You one of the assistants there at the United States Capitol building. Is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. For those that's tuning in to Reaching Your Destiny with Alicia, I have a very special guest that is on my show today through teleconference. Her name is Emily. She's an assistant that works at the United States Capitol building, and I'm so delighted and thrilled that she's on. And Emily, can you tell me in your own words, take us back to that horrible event at the United States Capitol on that day?
Well, yes, no. I feel like some people were in meetings. Some people were basically trying to go back, just to take a breather because working in the state council is a lot. It's all the stress and everything. And
Yes.
so basically, I can remember that when it all took place, there was just a lot of noise and stuff, and I knew it was
Mm-hmm.
not normal. So we immediately went ahead and locked our doors because we didn't know what was going to go on. We saw people outside, people were panicking and everything. It was just horrible.
It was
Very,
horrible.
yeah. And, the people that were out there, they were basically, I don't want to offend anyone, but they were like hillbillies, rednecks or something like that.
Whoa, could you please repeat yourself? You're saying that. Okay, I hope, can you speak a little louder and more clear, please? Because I
Yes.
do want my audience to hear you.
Okay, what about now?
Yes, much better. A little louder. I thank you so much. Uh,
Basically,
and you were saying that that you guys hurried and locked the doors, correct?
yes, ma'am. And not only but I noticed, from out the window that the individuals that were outside were hillbillies, rednecks, basically,
Aha.
that
Okay.
were going ahead and calling all of this, well, that were causing all of this horrible racket at that location. So it
Mm-hmm.
was really sad because I feel like nothing was done about the issue just because they were rednecks and hillbillies.
Mm-hmm.
If they happen to be African American, I do feel like things would have been different, very different.
Absolutely. I highly agree with you on that. If they would have happened to been Afro American individuals that was there at the state capitol, United States Capitol, first of all, I just like to say our Afro American people would not even gotten to the steps at all. There would have been
No,
barricades everywhere. There
no,
would have
there
been
would
the
have been
National Guard
chaos.
everywhere. There would have been just bloody bodies on the outside.
Right,
Officers shooting strictly to kill our Afro American
right,
brothers and sisters coming out to protest peacefully. Let there have been Black Lives Matter protesters out there or some other black organization that was out there that would have been protesting. It would have been a different story altogether.
yeah,
They would not have
absolutely.
gotten any, not none whatsoever type of your average Joe, treatment is what I saw
Yes,
through the media where these individuals they was just treated like if they was the average Joe next door. Nothing was going on. Everything's kind of sort of normal. They was treated like they were not no threat to anybody. But you let that have been some Afro American people that would have been there at the United States Capitol that came in and bomb rushed and rioting to the highest degree as they were doing and hanging off, dangling off side of the
right,
United States Capitol. Now, I'm sorry, Miss Emily, you already know they would have been shot and killed. We would have
absolutely.
witnessed a black man or a black woman dangling, falling to the death
Right,
by gunshots of the polices. And number one, they wouldn't even gotten to the up to the steps of the state capitol. That would have been a no-no. barricades would have went up. Bullets would have been going. I'm not talking about rubber bullets. I'm talking about the real ones. Tear gas and everything. It
Yes,
would have been a whole
that's
different
true.
story. Now, Miss Emily, have
Yes,
you
ma'am.
ever seen anything of this magnitude since you've been in the Washington, D.C. area?
No, I have not. It's really surprising because you would think that the state capital would be a place where things would be key and where
Mm-hmm.
you would feel safe inside. But
Mm.
that day I did not feel safe, and I wanted to quit because my life was on the line. So
Wow.
it was very, very horrible, and I do feel like there should be something done because this is not right. And we all know who caused this situation. I don't want to name names, but we do know who did it.
Yes. So you're saying that you are you still employed there now? Have you?
Yes, ma'am. It
Okay,
was
you
just
are.
right then and there. I was very, very, very upset because I
Mm-hmm.
just couldn't believe this was happening.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Wow, what a riveting moment that was. What pandemonium. Just, it was just horrific. It really was horrific and just very disgraceful. And it was just, wow, is this really happening at the United States Capitol? And it was just horrific. But I want to ask you, how long have you been living in Washington, D.C.?
So I've been there for 15 plus years.
15 plus
You know,
years.
yes, it's home where I call home. But
Okay.
it's just very quiet. We don't have a lot of, events or situations like this taking
Mm-hmm.
place there. So it's very new.
Okay. So, Emily, what do you, since after this event, where do you think that we're going to go from here as fellow Americans? Is there any way that since these United States of America is so divided, and we saw on the weekend of this horrific event that took place, the rioting in our United States Capitol, as we can see very clearly, and we've always been able to see it, but this really just cuts this really right here. It takes it to another level of the division of two justice systems that is so it's just undivided, and we see that, and we've been knowing this for a very long time, that the justice system is terribly divided among our fellow Americans.
Right.
So
Well,
where do
I
you?
do feel like that after this, I think that we have a lot to recover from, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the coronavirus and everything going on is already something that's taking a toll on us. But I also feel like that maybe with the change that's getting ready to come into the White House, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we might have a chance to turn around. It's going to take a lot of time and just knowing what needs to be done first to change everything around. It's the
Mm-hmm.
nation, basically. The American people.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping and praying that there will be a positive turnaround, the changing of the guards, which will be in a couple of days. And I really feel like that America can recover. America needs to recover because right now, America is broken. America is broken on so many levels. And we all need to get along. We need to heal. And we are a land of the free and of the brave. And the sad part about it is our children who are witnessing adults who cannot get along. They're witnessing on an all-time high of a particular groups who are so racially divided. And that brings on so much tension and racial division on all different levels. And, somebody was speaking to me the other day about what do you tell your 7-year old when your 7-year old will go forth on their media page, Facebook, Instagram pages, people in the family talking about it. Plus, not only that, they only can't help but to see it through the media. What do you tell a 6 or 7 year old, 10-year-old about what type of explanation can you give a child in this day and age why mom, why dad, or grown-ups are acting like this? Why are they terrorizing, um, causing problems, can't get along? Why is this happening? It's terrible. I mean,
It is.
you have to be honest with your child, because I'm honest with mine. And it's just like an event from the 60s reliving all over again. And right now, America needs healing on all levels. How do you feel about that, Emily?
Yes, I really do agree with you. I really do. But very
Absolutely.
true.
Absolutely. Well, just this past week, they're saying that 50 have been arrested throughout all of those, oh my goodness, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that was there. Only 50 was arrested. I'm just
Wow.
finding that very hard to believe, but hey, it is what it is. And also, I would like to go forth and I would like to, one of Dr. King's quotes that I really, really like and I love, and I think it's very suitable for such a time as this. One of Dr. King's quotes is, "We must learn to live together as brothers. As, we got to live together as brothers, or we perish as fools." Mm. I also like another quote of Dr. King as well. "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." Those are the
Wow.
quotes by Dr. King. Those are my most favorite quotes out of his 30 plus quotes that he have. And since Dr. King will be commemorated on the 18th, we're gonna dedicate this show today also to Dr. King as well. Um, Miss Emily, we're seeing that it's here in Georgia. Georgia's the battleground state, and all eyes was on Georgia in regarding to the United States Senate election, to the special election that we went forth. We had, and we're seeing a newness that's on the rise of America. Not only just here in Georgia, but throughout America. That we're seeing that the state is turning from red to blue, which I think is a great thing. And here in Cobb County, Georgia, where I reside, we have our very first time in the history in Cobb County, Georgia, where Afro American lady by the name of Lisa Cupid. My hat goes off to her. Congratulations, Mrs. Cupid, for making history here in Cobb County, being the first Afro American commissioner. Job well done. Also, we have our very first Afro American sheriff, Mr. Craig Owens. They're just making history, making strides, making a difference, and great leadership. And I really think that that's just awesome. And not only just they're making strides here in Cobb County, Georgia, but also our very first Afro American senator who's going to the United States Senator, Raphael Warnock. Hat goes off to you, sir, for a job well done. And also Mr. John Onsoff going to the United States Senate as well. Hat goes off to you too, sir. A job well done. And I really feel like that change is on the rise and change needs to be. And, it's going to make it better for everyone, not just for a particular group of people, but for black, brown, red, everybody. All lives matter. Yes, black lives matter. Of course, our black lives matters. All lives matter in the process as well. Emily, is there anything else that you would like to say?
for having me on your show tonight.
Well, I thank you so very much for being my guest. And I hope that your family and is safe and well, and may God continue to bless you. And we're thanking you that you survived the mayhem, the horrific event that took place at the United States Capitol. And best wishes to you, and may God continue to be with you, and may God bless you. And thank you for being on my show.
You're welcome, and you have a great night.
You have a great evening as well.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. Wow. That was a lady by the name of Emily. She do not want her last name to be disclosed, but however, she's an assistant, worked there in the United States Capitol, and you just heard from her how she felt and what she was experienced during that horrific ordeal. But I just want to say that we, as fellow Americans who are law abiding citizens, we must get along. We have to get along. We have children that we're raising, we have grandchildren that we're raising and nurturing and caring for. And it's sad that children have to come up in such a time as this. This is a critical time in America. America is broken on so many levels. Racism is at an all-time high on so many levels. A lot of children has never witnessed, or adults have ever witnessed, the horrific ordeal that went on at the United States Capitol this weekend. It was unprecedented. It was just inexcusable. There's nothing that could have justified that. Many people's lives were at risk. Many people's lives were at risk. People died behind this horrible ordeal. And, heart goes out to the young lady that lost her life here in Georgia that was there. And there's other people that lost their lives, police officers, and along with other people. But America, we've got to heal. And it's going to take everybody to pull together to heal. Afro American lives have always been woven into the American dream. Always. And that's the way it is. And that's part of our history. Our history is a part of the American history. So many times, a lot of people want to shove it underneath the rug. How can you? You can't. Because it is a part of who you are. It's a part of who we are. And it's the part of American history. And we must get along. And I want to quote Dr. King's quote that I really like. We must learn to live together as brothers. We must learn to live together as brothers, or else we will perish. We will perish as fools. We don't need to perish. We need to thrive. We need to survive. A new day is on the arise, and we got to learn how to get along and respect our fellow man and love our fellow man. As God said that He is love, how can you say that you is a faith-based believer and say that you love Jesus Christ that you've never seen before, and you see your brothers and sisters each and every day of all different nationalities, but you hate the core. You hate them to the core. That's not love. That's hate on all levels. So we're going to dedicate the show to Dr. King. We will be celebrating Dr. King, commemorate Dr. King this coming week. All the great contributions that he's done here in America. Here in Atlanta, he's a native of Atlanta. This is his birthplace. And we want to just salute to Dr. King. and all that he's done, and all the foot soldiers that was with him, as well as he was traveling on the dark roads to a better day. And I believe that better day is coming. That better day is coming. There is a new day. We must embrace that new day. And it's going to take our brothers and sisters to band together to embrace the new day that's coming. Because the mantle must be passed on to our children and to our children's children. A better day is coming ahead. So we all, as fellow Americans, can walk together in peace and harmony. And that's what needs to happen. Walking together in peace and harmony. And God said in 7:14 that he will heal our lands. But how can he heal our lands? When we're broken and we need to repent and come unto him. When we repent and come unto him, America will be healed. The second Chronicles 7:14 declares, if my people who are called by my name, my people who are called by my name, will humble themselves, turn from their wicked ways. He said he will heal thy land. America is our land. We're in America. Our land needs to be healed today on so many different levels. On so many different levels. And it's going to start with the people here in America getting along and loving each other as God wants us to love, as we should love, which is the human thing to do. So I just really feel like that America needs to be healed. I'm pretty sure there are other people out there that feel the same way. And I want to go forth and I want to play a clip from one of Dr. King's speeches. We are celebrating Dr. King's week a little earlier here on the show. We will be celebrating, commemorating him of his legacy and his contributions to America this week. We have the inauguration that's coming up on the 20th. Congratulations to President-elect Biden and Vice President Harris on a job well done. And I want to go forth. I want to play a little insert of one of Dr. King's speeches. Having a little technical difficulties, but that's okay. I hope that everybody have a great week, and may God continue to bless each and everybody on their week. And be very vigilant. Please be alert of your surroundings and mask up. If you're going out, mask up. COVID-19 is on an all-time high. There's a new strain of COVID-19, and I know many of you guys have been watching the media very close, and there's a new strain of the COVID. So please mask up. Stay 6 feet apart. Your social distancing apart, please. And just know that we're going to get through these dark days. We're going to get through these dark days. When you stand for what is right, something got to come out right. It's always good to do what's right. The timing is always right to do what's right. That's another one of Dr. King's quote. May not be quote verbatim, but it's always a good time to do what's right. And that's what we got to do, America. We got to do the right thing. We must do the right thing. We've got children who are, they're small kids. I mean, I was just somewhere at the mall, and I was with my daughter, and it was a classmate that she saw. We did 6 feet social distancing, of course. Well, I think we went in just to go get some donuts. And she saw two of her little classmates, fifth graders, sixth graders. And they asked my child, they said, "What do you think about what happened over the weekend at our Capitol?" And my daughter, she's 11, and she replied, "Very bad." She said it was just unbelievable. And I said to myself, see, out of the mouth of children, the kids are watching. The kids are watching. And we must set examples, good examples for our children, to follow in our footsteps, to be better and to excel more and more and more and more. But how can our kids excel more and more and more and more when they are exposed to such a horrific, unprecedented, inexcusable ordeal that happened this weekend? Throws a monkey wrench in trying to go forth to educate your children to do better and to respect people even the more when they see adults acting out like this. That's saying something, and it's saying something to all time high. Speaks a lot of volumes. My thing is, what are they teaching their children? Hate is taught. People are not born to hate. It's being taught. It's being taught. And we got to teach our children better. When they go low, we go high. We always go high because that's who we are. I'm having a little technical difficulties here, but it's okay. It is okay. My studio man, he's not here, but that's okay. But guess what? God is good. And here we are. Here we go. With one of Dr. King's speeches.
This must become true. So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Wow. What a great speech. Let freedom ring. We must let freedom ring, as Dr. King spoke.
The minute black woman came up, the only question I heard from her was, "You, Martin Luther Dr. King, and I was looking down writing, and I said yes. The next minute I felt something beating on my chest. Before I knew it, I had been stabbed by this demented woman. I was rushed to Harlem Hospital. It was a dark Saturday afternoon. That blade had gone through, and the x-rays revealed that the tip of the blade was on the edge of my aorta, the main artery. And once that's punctured, you're drowned in your own blood. That's the end of you. It came out in the New York Times the next morning that if I had merely sneezed, I would have died. Well, about 4 days later, they allowed me, after the operation, after my chest had been opened and the blade had been taken out, to move around in the wheelchair in the hospital. They allowed me to read some of the mail that came in, and from all over the states and the world, kind letters came in. I read a few, but one of them I will never forget. I had received one from the president and the vice president. I've forgotten what those telegrams said. I'd received a visit and a letter from the governor of New York, but I've forgotten what that letter said. But there was another letter that came from a little girl, a young girl, who was a student at the White Plains High School. And I looked at that letter, and I'll never forget it. It said simply, "Dear Dr. King, I am a 9th grade student at the White Plains High School." She said, "While it should not matter, I would like to mention that I'm a white girl. I read in the paper of your misfortune and of your suffering. And I read that if you had sneezed, you would have died. I'm simply writing you to say that I'm so happy that you didn't sneeze." I want to say tonight that I too am happy that I didn't sneeze, because if I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1960 when students all over the South started sitting in at lunch hours. And I knew that as they were sitting in, they were really standing up for the best in the American dream, taking the whole nation back to those great wells of democracy, which were dug deep by the founding fathers in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been around here in 1962. The Negroes in Albany, Georgia, decided to straighten their backs up. And whenever men and women straighten their backs up, they are going somewhere, because a man can't ride your back unless it is bent. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have been here in 1963. Black people of Birmingham, Alabama, aroused the conscience of this nation, brought into being the Civil Rights Bill. If I had sneezed, I wouldn't have had a chance later that year in August to try to tell America about a dream that I had had. If I had sneezed, I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. My God, we're thanking God for the life and the legacy of Dr. King, because if it had not been for Dr. King sacrificing his life, I often think about these words: black and white, the signs of black and white during a time when my mother was coming up. She told me a lot of little things about the time when she was coming up. You couldn't go to certain places, period. You couldn't. You just couldn't do it. I often think about how we would have survived to this day with being segregated on that level with the black and white signs. Black and white signs for the bathrooms, water fountains. Yes, we have progressed in those particular areas, but there is more that we've got to work on. There is more that we've got to progress even the more on all different levels. And what took place at the United States Capitol this weekend, horrific, unprecedented, inexcusable. We got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting the good fight of faith. We got to keep fighting until victory is finally won for everyone on every level. This is what Dr. King stood for. This is his legacy. We can't turn back now. We can't turn back. If God is for us, who can be against us? We've came too far as a people to get derailed now. To get derailed and distracted by evil forces. And I'm believing and I'm trusting that everybody will go forth and join hands together and band together, that we shall and we will overcome. Someday, the day is coming. People are putting their hand to the plow, sacrificing their lives, even right now as I'm speaking, where that day shall and will be a great day that we shall overcome for our children, their children's children's children. No more will we have to go through racism on all different levels that we're going through now. A lot of work that must be done. Progress have been made, but there's a lot of work that must be done. And we're at that moment in history where the groundwork is being done right now. So we shall overcome. May God bless you this evening, and take care and love each other and help somebody. It's a day on, not a day off, as we commemorate, as we think on, reflect on, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here as we reflect on the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King? We shall overcome, and we will. May God bless you, and remember, reach your destiny and love yourself. And don't wait on nobody to love you. It's hard to love the unlovable, but with the Spirit of God, you can love. Have a great evening.